Hi, so for today's video, I'm going to be making a bunch of these keychains, and these are just, a nice little fob. You can put this on your backpack as a zipper pull or your phone. I think my son needs this for his phone because he just got a new case and it's kind of slippery and there's nothing to hold on to. I don't know. I like to have something like this on my phone, or, like a cute keychain kind of thing. But anyways, I'm making this for his friends for part of their like Christmas, like a party Christmas favor. This was my first demo or my first prototype, and it came out super cute. So I did a couple versions. I made one and it was too fat. I'm using a 1-inch key ring maker, and so I made it too fat. I tried some embroidery with just the sewing machine, and yeah, I don't care for it. I'm gonna actually try to do it a regular embroidery with their names on it. Anyways, the things you will need is some fabric. So I just have this black and red Palaka fabric. I have some fusible batting, and I bought this on Amazon. It's a plantational, I think it's a 2mm thickness. I'll link everything down below. But I don't know, I really like the plantational brand of interfacings and stuff. I have a bunch of them and they work just as good as the name brand one, except you get so much. So I don't have to feel bad when I mess up or, making a lot of things. I hate it when you have like that little roll that you bought at Walmart and then, or at the craft store, and then you run out and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to go get more. And you're like in the middle of the project, or it's in the middle of the night. So yeah, I love the big rolls. You also need one of these keychain makers. It just comes like this. I'm sure you've seen these kind of things. This one only has these grooves on one side, but they are kind of big at least. So it will go through the whole thing, like from that to the end. And they feel very heavy duty. And it came with its own set of pliers. And yeah, I had to like squeeze it really hard. So I feel like it'll last. I really want my son to use this so I can test it out. But so far, pretty good. I also used some optional things are a rotary cutter, a clear ruler, super helpful. I used some double stick tape. It has like that backing, and you put it down and you peel the backing off, which makes it very easy to use. But you can also use clips. Don't have to have this. I also use Gorilla Glue. This is what I had. I would prefer like E6000 or that new one, B7000. So this is what I used just to make it a little more secure. I've been pulling on this and trying to like take it apart, and it's been pretty good so far, and I just made it, so the glue hasn't fully cured yet either. And I think that's it. Super fast to make. Once I figured out the measurements, you can make this in various sizes. The biggest measurement is, the width. So it's whatever the width that you bought this. I think it comes in like 3/4 of an inch or 1 1/4, a little bit bigger too. 1 inch looks nice to me. And I did 12 because this ruler is 12 inches and it just made it so much easier. This one was 13. So I'm using the 12-inch ruler. I'm making it 4 by 12. I will show you the whole thing. But yeah, something like this, 12 by 14 makes it like this size, which is very comfortable for my hand. If you're making it for kids, you can make it smaller, up to you. Yeah, big enough space. Still about 5.5 inches of space for you to embroider the name. You can also cut it out on your Cricut and use iron-on vinyl too. It just won't last as long because, embroidery is like forever, and then the vinyl possibly could peel off over time, but still a easier, simpler option. Embroidery will take a little bit more calculations, but I'll show you how I'm going to do it. I have a combo machine, a sewing machine / embroidery machine. It is the Brother SE2000. I absolutely love this machine. I have a review on it that I did earlier. It is amazing. I've been using it for about a year now, so I can truly say that it's a great machine, and I've used it a lot for embroidery and sewing. Love that, and love that you can do this kind of thing on one machine. Okay, so let's start cutting our stuff out. these things on the side. So you can use whatever fabric you want. You can also do double-sided. You don't have to have it the same on both sides. It's just easier if you do, because then you just have to work with one piece. I was making tissue box holders. That's why this part is interface. But I'm just leaving it on. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have it interfaced at all. I want to, you know, use my fabric nicely or wisely. I'm just going to make it a 12 or cut a 12 by 4 piece. Because this is a directional fabric, I do want to make sure I'm lining it up nicely. So I'll put this line at the 4-inch mark and cut down. Super easy, right? And I'm going to actually make, I think, 6 of these. So I'm going to cut these out on the regular fabric too. But if you're just making one, that's all you need. And then of the iron-on batting, you need a 12-inch by 7/8 of an inch piece of batting. Last time I cut it to 1 inch, and it was too fat. Because you know when you wrap it in the fabric, where did it go? It makes it a little bit too fat. So just 7/8 of an inch. You can do this however you like. I'm going to make 6. I'm just going to measure with this and just cut straight down. I'm going to turn it this way because I like to cut with my right hand. I think I skipped ahead a little because I started doing all of the keychains. But after I cut out the material, all I did was fold this in half and check your pattern, make sure everything's even. You really want to make sure that you start off with it nice and even. So even if it's crooked, just, you know, kind of make it even. And then you're going to fold it in, and also make sure these lines line up if you're using a similar type of pattern, and press. And then fold it in half and try to make it as even as possible. If you know which side's going to be the good side, it helps out a little bit. Like this side's a little too black, so I like this side. This is going to be the outside. I'm going to make sure that this top part is not like showing the bottom, but try to keep it as even as possible, of course. And then just press. If you have a clapper, that really helps keep the pressing nice and crisp. And then all I did was fold it in half. I used some Tailor's chalk, just marked the half point. I wanted the name to be kind of like on the side, like this, not straight up in the middle. Just because if they use it for like a zipper pull or something, you want the name to be visible this way. Otherwise, you're only going to get like half that way. Totally up to you. I have my 4-inch magnetic hoop. I'm going to kind of go fast over this part because everyone's embroidery machine is going to be different. I'm using some tearaway stabilizer, and you can kind of reuse it. This is actually a really nice fabric to embroider on. It's very stable, so I didn't have any problems. And you want to make sure you know which part you're going to embroider on. So this is the part that I'm going to embroider on. I will mark it for you guys so you can see. This is just going to be my sample. So I'm going to unfold it. Make sure it's all flat because you don't want to embroider the seams, you know, or it folded. And super easy. I'm just lining up this edge along with this edge that I can see under the tearaway stabilizer. I want to make sure I'm going to embroider around here. So I'm going to move it down a little. So lining up here and here, I'm going to place the magnets and try to make this as tight as you can without stretching your fabric. I love magnetic hoops. I know it's not as like tight, but it's just so easy. Okay. I also got this one on Amazon. I don't know what brand it is. It's not the Brother brand for sure. Okay, so this is ready to go. I'll show you what it looks like on my machine. I just want to show the back of my machine. I have this really nice stand that I got from Amazon for the thread. And I'm using silver metallic thread, which is always a little bit finicky. You have to use a top stitching needle. You also have to use a stand like this, I feel like, so that the thread doesn't get all wrinkled up. It just really wants to do that. This really helps with the metallic thread. This is my Brother SE2000. This is how I do the embroidery. Just gonna go back. So cancel that old one. I'm just going to do lettering. So simple lettering. It comes standard on the machine. Hope you can see this. Just using the top one. I'm going to just put Angie in the medium lettering so it fits. Okay, and then you pick your embroidery machine, which is, I'm going to use a 4x4. And I want to rotate it so we're going this way. So right now it's 0.61 in height. I want to only have it be half an inch. I have to put the needle where I want it on here versus, the other way around. For my little ruler, I'm measuring this 1 inch. I want to make sure the needle is in that half inch area. So, okay. And then now I'm going to use the rotational tool to see where it's going to stitch. Okay, so that looks perfect. That's the middle right there. Clicking OK. It's going to take 1 minute. I'm going to put this down. I have a feeling my thread is going to pop out because it's too short. It doesn't have a long enough tail. So I'm going to rethread it. Okay, and start it. Okay, so I just finished. So I'm going to take it out of the hoop. And okay, so I have my Cricut Easy Press Mini out. And just going to tear this off. And I don't really need to clean it up at all because it's going to go on the inside. So, or like, the back. So now we're just going to add the batting, the fusing. And I'm going to have the glue side down facing the name part. And then fold this over. It should be really nice and neat already because you already have that memory press. Flip it over and then just arrange it nicely so that the top part is not sticking out over, or is, the bottom is not showing off the top part. Be a little careful if you're using metallic thread and you're ironing over it. It can stand some heat, but not a ton. So I think that's enough to fuse the interfacing. And then now we're just gonna have to clean up the jump stitches. You see the little lines of stitching in there. So I just use a seam ripper. You can use a little scissors. I kind of go close to one letter as possible. And then I need to get my scissors and then cut off that little thread as close as I can. Okay, so from here, you can either pin it or you can use the double-sided tape I was talking about. You don't need to put it along the whole thing. It's up to you. I'll do maybe 4 pieces. And I'm going to stick it not in the area that I'm going to be stitching, but, close to it. Okay, and then we're going to take off the backing. This is just really handy. You can also use a glue stick for something bigger. I've done that before and that works good too. It just makes something like this really stick together and not move around. You can still pin it if you want. Okay, so now I'm just going to top stitch. I'm just going to use regular thread and sew along here at a 1/8 seam allowance. And yeah, I'm going to have to change over my sewing machine from embroidery to regular. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that because that's really simple. Okay, so I top stitched on the top and the bottom. I also sewed this together, just right along there. And then I'm just going to trim it up. So not on the sewing line that I just did, but just right above it. Trim up any threads that are hanging out. Okay, just make sure it's nice and straight right here. And then now we're going to get our tools. So maybe I'll just clean this up really quick. I love this little desk vacuum cleaner. Gets all the little threads. We're going to get one of the keychain things. So you can see how there's teeth in there. It has to go through the material. And just to make it extra safe, we're going to get some Gorilla Glue. I prefer, I guess, E6000, but this is what we have. So just enough, not too much that it's going to like squeeze out the side, but just enough to get on there. Then I'm going to stick this with the name part on the smooth side. Just do it neatly so that the glue doesn't go anywhere. And make sure that everything's nice and secure, that it looks nice. There's like a little thread here. Let's maybe tuck it in if possible. Okay. Just going to hold it there for a little bit. Get your clamper. And I had to, like, when I first did it, I had to kind of do it this way first and then clamp it the other way because it kept slipping out. So before you clamp it, make sure it's nice and straight, like that line looks good. Move the little keyring part out of the way. And then we're going to use the force, your force. So if you see any glue right there, you want to clean that up. I just wiped it on some things. And there's a little bit of thread, so I'm just going to trim that off so it's neat. But yeah, so that's it. Super easy, super nice and customizable. If I didn't have an embroidery machine, I would just go ahead and use like iron-on vinyl and cut it out. That would work well too. And then it's easier to center where you want it versus, you know, on the embroidery machine. So if anything, if it comes out, I will let you know in the comments. But I think with the glue and the clamping of this, I think it should be pretty good. And I'm not going to take credit for the glue thing. I saw this on Okla Roots. She was saying that she made a lot of these and they kept coming out. And so she used E6000. It helped fix the problem. So I trust what she says. And I think the glue will help secure it a little bit better too. But yeah, thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.